sin ti no soy igual. Tu vida está a punto ya de comenzar. Las noches son más largas, tú eres mi esperanza, tú, mi amor. Anhelo ya poderte abrazar, llenarte de besitos y acariciar. Yo sé que de extrañarte, aquí eres mi otra parte, tú, mi amor. 9 meses llegarán a su final, y aunque todo cambiará, prometo ser tu protección. Yo siempre a tu lado voy a estar, por siempre así será. Un mundo nuevo estás por conocer, y siempre en cada paso te apoyaré. Y aunque tengas que marcharte, yo siempre voy a amarte. Mi amor por ti empezó desde aquel instante en que supe que serías tú, mi amor, tú, mi amor, tú, mi amor.
Hey everyone, welcome to Be Our Guest, our weekly virtual happy hour with industry professionals. I'm Dev Janki, Artistic Director of Live and in Color. We are an artist-serving organization dedicated to developing new stage works that promote and celebrate diversity. We are currently raising money in the run-up to our summer garden party benefit. We have just 1 week left to win a matching gift of $10,000, and so far we have raised $9,500 and need to raise just another $500. So your gift of any amount will be doubled right now through July 11th, the date of our summer garden party benefit. Buy your tickets for our first in-person event of the season, or make a tax-deductible donation today by going to liveandincolor.org right now. Double your impact today. So now, grab a cocktail and start leaving your questions for our wonderful guests in the comments. Please welcome an incredible writer and composer whose works have been featured in venues such as the Minskoff Theater, the Lucille Ortel Theater, the Goodspeed Opera House, and so many more. Please say hello to a Live and in Color alum and great collaborator and friend of mine, Jaime Lozano. Hello, sir.
Hello. Hola, hola. Cheers.
So good to see you.
Good to see you, Deb. So thank you for inviting me to to get drunk with you.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. One of my favorite things. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I was saying earlier when we were talking that you were one of our first guests when you were a surprise guest for
Mauricio, right?
Yeah,
Of
So
course.
really, I'm happy to give you your own featured show.
Thank you. That was like the second or the third show, something like that. Yeah, one of the very first one.
We're so happy to have you back, and you're one of my favorite people who I so admire your work and who you are. Your writing is just so beautiful and is incredible. But I'm always curious, what first made you fall in love with musical theater or the arts? Where did that come from?
You know that till today I don't know what was it. It's just a crazy thing that happened to me, because when I was a kid, I remember that I used to watch Jesus Christ Superstar, the movie, the 70s movie back in Mexico. They used to broadcast that movie like every like during March or April, and I just hate it so much. I don't know how old I was. Maybe like 10 years old, like 9, I don't know. But I remember watching the movie and I just didn't understand at the time why these people was in the desert singing and like doing this story. I don't come from an artistic family. I mean, no one in my family has been involved with arts before. I'm like the very first person in my family doing something related with art. And I was actually supposed to study criminology.
Wow.
Yeah, something very similar to art.
Yes, exactly.
Right? So, and I went to present like the admission test, and I got in, but at the moment that I was supposed to start school, I decided just not to go to school. Like something, I don't know why was it. Something just tell me, like something in my mind, in my head, no, don't study that and just wait. So I wait 1 year, and 1 year after, I get into music school for opera singing. I was studying like opera.
Wow.
Originally, I wanted to be like a singer.
Had you been singing before that as a kid?
Like when I was a teenager, I started singing like in church choirs,
Yes.
Yeah, like something nothing professional, something, and I didn't have any kind of training. So when I got into music school, I realized that all the people that was with me in the first year, they had already a lot of training. That was people that they had been playing piano since they were like 3 or 4 years old, and they knew how to read music. And I didn't know a shit at the time. I mean, nothing about music at all. And when I was studying the first year, I saw a post, like a notice, a casting notice for audition for a musical. And can you guess which musical was it?
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yes. You got it. Jesus Christ Superstar. So I went to audition, and I got into the ensemble. I got into the choir, and the director was a guy who had studied here in the States before. He went to Berklee School of Music, and he had a master program in another university, blah blah. So I became very close to him, and I was like all day in his office trying to read, because at that time I didn't read and I didn't speak any English, trying to read all the musical theater books that he has, and he had at his office. And that's the way that I get involved with musical theater.
Wow, that's amazing. And so how did the actual music part come in, the composing and that part of it?
When I got into this show, into Jesus Christ Superstar, and I became like his right hand, like this director right hand, and I was with him all the time. Like I was his assistant, and he was a composer.
Okay.
So he was like premiering some of his musicals back then in my hometown in Monterrey, and I got really interested in actually. I mean, to be honest. I realized that singing, that I wasn't that good at singing. Maybe I wasn't bad, but it's not like I was shining, like I was like that. I didn't have like that spotlight on me. So I think I have been always like very smart about making decisions, like just in the fly, And when I was like half of my singing bachelor, I decided to change my major to composition.
Wow.
And the thing was, I was forced to start over my bachelor because I at the time that I decided to change the major, my program, my school was changing like all the how do you call like all the syllabus, like the official syllabus. They were changing the plan, so they didn't want to validate the years that I already had done, and I had to start over. Back then I did a bachelor like I was in music school like for 10 years, I think so.
What, before you moved to New York, even before
Exactly.
NYU?
Exactly.
Wow.
Back in Mexico, yeah.
Wow.
I did like almost 3 years of opera singing, and then I did like 6 years and a half of composition.
And then 2 years at NYU or 3 years at NYU?
2 years at NYU, but that was a master program. Yeah, that was
absolutely.
After,
Well, it's an amazing journey to where you've gotten to, because you're so prolific in all you write. I have had the great fortune of getting to work with you and collaborate with you on many things, including when we first met on the off-Broadway production of The Yellow Brick Road, a bilingual Spanish-English new musical based on The Wizard of Oz. There they are. It's still one of my favorite experiences and one of the shows I'm most proud of being part of. I mean, what was that experience like? Can you tell our audience a little bit about Yellow Brick Road?
That was like 12 years ago, maybe no.
Yeah,
like 12 years ago, right?
Yeah,
I was just out from school. I came to NYU. The only reason I came to New York was because I got a full tuition scholarship from NYU. I didn't have money to pay school. I mean, it's ridiculous, crazy. It's crazy education here. So after school, I remember the Barbara contacted me because they were looking for like Latino, Latinx, Latine. I don't know what is the right way to say it now, but they were looking like for these kind of composers and storytellers. I remember that they actually had another team before me and before us, and they told us they paired me with another writer that I didn't know at the time, Tommy Newman. I just love that guy now crazily. He's one of the most amazing human beings I know. And they just told us, you have to write a song together in 2 days, and we haven't met before, okay? We just met, we went to the rehearsal studio, and we write a song, we record the song there in the studio with a singer. And what I love is that I have been always very interested in telling stories that I related with me in some way, because, I mean, even musical theater is an American form. I shouldn't be doing the same that the Americans are doing. I mean, they do what they do amazingly. I mean, like Dear Evan Hansen, like all those kind of shows. Yeah, they do great. The British people, they do great. But I can't pretend to tell the same story that they are telling. So being Yellow Brick Road a chance to adapt this classic into a Latin context was just a gift for me, like putting myself in the story. I mean, I have been in that path. I have been in that Yellow Brick Road path as an immigrant, just sometimes I feel that I have no brain because I'm struggling between languages. I don't know how to speak English, and now I don't know how to speak Spanglish, and I feel like I'm in the middle, Sometimes I forget a word in Spanish. Sometimes I forget a word in English. Sometimes I feel like a tin man because I'm just trying to be a machine, writing one thing after the other one, and trying to be prolific. And I don't know if I'm putting enough like heart on that. Sometimes I feel like this lion that I don't have courage enough, that I got nervous to just to do this interview, for example, because my lack of English. Sometimes I get really afraid to do these kind of things and get to speak in public. So that's my journey every single day. And to have that chance to write a musical about that was just one of the biggest gifts that I have had.
Well, it really was such a special experience. And, you know, I was very honored to be part of it. Cut to, I guess, almost 12 years later, we got to work together again on the new musical Present Perfect, which Live and in Color developed in 2018, written with your collaborator, Nancy Chesser. Can you tell the audience a little bit about that show, which is, you know, another story about immigrants, but a wide variety of them?
Yeah, do you know, actually, the fun fact, the Yellow Brick Road and Present Perfect are connected in some way. Because the very first time that Nancy Chesser, that we connected was actually after a Brick Road performance. She came to a show, and the first time that we met was after a show. We went to a cafeteria in Pennsylvania Hotel. I mean, we went to a cafeteria there to talk about Present Perfect. That was 2000. What was the year? Like 11, maybe 11, I guess, or 12, like 11. And I was supposed to write a show with her, but then I went to Mexico for my brother's wedding. At the same time, I was applying for my artist visa, and when I was in Mexico, I realized that my artist visa was denied. Because my lawyer was a scam. My lawyer wasn't real. I mean, he sent all the information, but he wasn't a real lawyer. And so, I don't know, life, God, the universe, something happened. Then when I was supposed to come back to the States with my tourist visa, I say, okay, I'm going to go back with my tourist visa. When I got into the airport, I realized that I have lost my visa, my artist visa.
Oh, no.
So I was stuck in Mexico for 4 years, and I wasn't able to write a show with Nancy because I was in Mexico, and at that time, like writing like through internet wasn't like the best option.
Not like it is now.
Yeah, not like now, exactly. So it wasn't until 2016 I got married in Mexico. And I came for my honeymoon here December 2015. And I was supposed to go back to Mexico in January. I mean, we were supposed to be here just 1 month. And I told my wife, and what if we stay? And we overstay. We stay as a tourist, and I start applying for my artist visa again. I got my artist visa now because I got a real lawyer. And I reconnected with Nancy many years after. She came now after another show that I did. We thought she had already started the show with another composer, and actually the other composer was there in the meeting. And she told us, if you want to use any of my songs, you can do that. Whatever you need to do to tell the story. We ended deciding that we're gonna write to start over and writing the show from the scratch. That was 2016, and we did the show with Live and in Color 2000. What was it?
Yeah,
like 17, right? Like one year after that. Yeah, so we grew the show like in less than a year.
And it was again such a gift, you know, that show to everyone that got to see it. It was a very, very special show that hopefully we'll be seeing more of very, very soon, along with all your other shows. I know you, Jaime, you collaborate with actually a lot of people, which is so exciting. You seem to like. Do you enjoy working with different collaborators? And how do you end up finding them, and how are they different?
I do enjoy working with. I actually think I don't want to sound like pretentious, but I think I'm one of the composers who has collaborated with more like lyricists in the industry. I mean, for example, I have a song cycle that I collaborate with 9 different lyricists, female lyricists, and then I have an album that I just released last year that I collaborate with another 9 different lyricists, and all of my shows I have like a different collaborator. I mean, I have like a 30, 40 different like collaborators for songs, projects. And what I enjoy about that is that every collaboration is like getting married, you know? It's like
You've had a lot of marriages, Jaime.
yeah, don't say to my wife. Don't say that to my wife. No, but the thing is, when you get married, it's not about finding the ideal person. It's not something that is completely perfect.
Yeah.
When you get married with someone, it's because you know all the good sides and all the not too good sides, you know, all the other sides. So if her feet smell, you know that, and you're not gonna say, oh no, I want a divorce because I didn't know that your feet smell. No, I mean you need to collaborate besides that, you know. So when you have collaborators, it doesn't mean that all of them are like a perfect collaboration and you agree all the time, but it's more like getting to know, oh, I know that she or he gets angry or she gets a little bit mad when I go in this direction, or you know, for example, I'm very passionate, and I recognize that sometimes I speak too loud because I get passionate, and I mean,
you're an artist, Jaime. We're all artists. That's how you create great art and create the beautiful songs you do.
You're also like that, and I remember like being with you and something that we being in the heat of the conversation, that you raise your voice a little bit, and then you have okay, let's touch base again. Okay, let's calm ourselves. Let's breathe, and that's part of the journey of a collaboration.
Yeah.
And you learn from every single person, because of course we all don't. Every person has different strengths.
Well, yeah, so, you created some beautiful art with many of your collaborators. And speaking of getting married, and your real life wife, the beautiful Florencia, you recently did a concert at Joe's Pub, Jaime Lozano and Familia, and we have a little clip from the show we'd like to show, and then we'll talk a little bit.
Yeah.
Que no uses escote que cruce las piernas, no los provoque, que sea niña buena, que me busque un hombre pa' que me defienda, y si me golpea me debo aguantar. Tomarnos, callar nuestras voces, las manos atarnos, volar nuestros nombres, también entregarnos, pero se olvidaron que somos semillas y tarde o temprano la tierra se abre y los frutos verán. Ay, 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 ni una más, aunque me cueste la vida. Ay, 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 ni una más, no más desaparecidas, por las que me arrebataron, hoy voy a luchar.
Yay! Well, that was your amazing, beautiful wife, Florencia, who actually will be performing this weekend in our summer garden party. So get your tickets now to see her performing live. I know she is very much your muse, Jaime. I know you write such beautiful stuff for her. Can you talk a little bit about how the Joe's Pub show came about?
Yeah, that was that was an interesting show, and I'm happy that was our last virtual show.
Yes.
Because at this time it's just like too many virtual stuff. But I'm grateful for all this virtual life also. The song that we just listened, actually, it's funny that the two songs that you have played today, Florencia is singing on both songs, and those lyrics in both songs are actually a collaboration with Florencia. It's not that she's only singing the song, she's also the lyricist for those songs. This song that we just listened, it's a song in Spanish, as we just listened to it, about a new musical we are writing about the femicides that unfortunately happened in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, at the end of the 90s. So we are writing this musical to honor and to try to create awareness and to honor all these women. And Florencia is the best collaborator to write with me a show like that. And this song was part of that Joe's Pop concert that I'm so honored to have been to still be part of the Joe's Pop working group. Like right before the pandemic, I was selected with another 4 artists as one of the 5 resident artists for this Joe's Pop working group. Because the pandemic and all that, they actually extended our period because we didn't have too many time to meet and to work with Joe's Pop. And now we are still part of the group. They extended for 1 more year or even a little bit more. And I'm very happy because this concert is giving me the opportunity to come back to Joe's Pop next year. And we are now planning 3-4 concerts for next year with different projects at Joe's Pop. So, and this is one of the things that I love the most about musical theater, that everything is about communities. Like you have small families and communities. As I have my Life and in Color family community, I have my Latinx community, I have my Joe's Pop community. You have a different communities and families, and they're not against each other. They are like overlap, like circles that they get together and help you to connect with other people and even make bigger and stronger those communities. And I think this is what we need right now with everything that was going on during the last 15 months. Now that we're coming back, that we need to come to a new life. We're not coming back to wherever was normal before. We need to come back to something new.
Yeah.
And working as a community. Even we have our own small communities by themselves. Putting those communities together is gonna help us to be stronger and to get to more people and to do the statement that we want to do as a BIPOC, as a Latinx, Latinx, Latino, as a trans community, as African Americans, as an Asian community, wherever it is that is not by themselves. We need to work together and support each other and lift each other,
Yeah, so beautifully said. Well, as you know, our mission at Live and in Color is to connect all our communities so that we can all create new stage works. And, I always ask this to our guests, but what does having an inclusive working environment mean to you?
It definitely makes you feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you feel that no one is I'm not someone that get afraid from other people, but having an ideal scenario, an ideal community, an ideal process, that definitely works. That definitely helps the work that you're doing. And having something like Live and in Color, for example, and being able. I remember when we did Present Perfect. Florencia and I were become parents just a few months before, and you gave us the opportunity, and you gave Florencia the opportunity to bring our newborn child. He was I don't know if 2 years old, 2 years old, and that's something that is not very I mean, not a lot of people allow that. You know what I mean? It's like they want to separate. A mother can't be an artist. You know, and no, being a mother is part of being an artist, and being a human being, a whole human being, it what made you an artist. You can't separate one thing from the other one. So being in that process with our son there, with the support of a great director and an amazing human being as yourself, and all your team and all your staff, and being in that house in Connecticut, it was just like one of the most amazing experiences. Even was hard because we were juggling, having Alonso there, rewriting and all that. It was just like we feel safe to be doing it, and if it felt right, it didn't feel like, oh no, this boy shouldn't supposed to be here, you know, or no. It felt like everything was safe for us to be open and honest, because I just saw a question there that they say,
we have a bunch of, you know what, let's take some questions, because I think we're about to.
Actually, yeah, that I want to say about that. One piece of songwriting advice. And the thing that I want to say, my one piece of songwriting advice.
There we go.
Is being honest. The first thing that you have to do is be honest. And when you are in a safe space like Live and in Color, you can be like over honest. You know, you can become completely open, and don't be afraid to say and to tell what you want to tell. So I think that I just enjoyed that process, and I'm really grateful with you and all your team and all your community that they have support, not only our show, but many shows now.
Well, hopefully there will be many more of those for us.
I'm sure, yeah.
There's some more questions. Let's take, I think there's two more. So Nikki says, who is your dream collaborator?
I think my dream collaborator is anybody from I could learn something. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I could say a lot of names, but there's some people that they're not. That's true. I mean, some people is not open enough, or vulnerable enough, or honest enough to tell stories. Yeah. So you need really to be like honest, and when you're honest and vulnerable, you are teaching others. Even you feel like you are vulnerable. From that, your collaborator is learning, and I that's one of the things that I love the most. I mean, just learn from every one of my collaborators. Yeah,
love it. Let's take one more question. Arabella says, "What is it like collaborating with your wife?"
It's a nightmare. No, I can't. No, it's very tricky, because I mean we always say that the hard thing about this is that, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know, we don't see borders anymore. You know what I mean? It's like we are at home cooking, and at the same time we're writing a lyric, or we are talking about the next show, and we are like going to bed and we are thinking, and just with the light off, oh, what do you think about this and that and that, you know? It's not like we are husband and wife, and then collaborators, and then composer and singer, and no, it's like we are. It's like all this together. That I don't know how healthy it is, but I just enjoy it. You know,
it seems to be working, because together you are like this amazing team that just continues to create glorious stuff. So. I can't wait for more. Jaime, we are out of time. It goes by so fast. But before we go, as we mentioned, all donations made during the next week will be matched dollar for dollar up to $10,000. So please make a tax-deductible donation today to support the work of the artists at Live and in Color by going to liveandincolor.org right now. All money raised goes towards supporting our amazing artists and developing their work. Next week, join us when we chat with the amazing Alan Maroka from Broadway's Aladdin, The King and I, and everyone's favorite TV show, Sesame Street. I'm so excited to have him. To see more episodes of Be Our Guest, please make sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. Thank you to everyone who tuned in today. And thank you, my friend Jaime, for joining me.
Oh.
And will you lead us in a little toast as we exit the show?
Sure. I toast for family, for familia, for community, for collaboration, and that this collaboration can open many, many, many more doors for us and for all the people coming with us and after us. That we can keep together, stay together, and be stronger together. Cheers.
Here, here. Cheers. Thank you, Jaime. See you all next